Every day, hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage, their stories caught on tape. Terror on the sidewalk.
Get the keys, get the keys.
Horror on the highway. And cops drive into a deadly end. Then a woman breaks out.
Come here, you!
There's no concealed weapon on this car thief, and it's the naked truth on tonight's disorderly conduct. South Central Los Angeles. A few friends with a video camera capture a terrifying sight. It begins as a road rage incident as the white car slams into the compact in front, and the driver keeps his foot hard on the gas. The driver of the car in front has already called police and refuses to budge. That's when road rage turns to absolute fury as stunned witnesses look on.
Oh my God! Call the police! Call the police!
The driver veers onto a front lawn and plows right over a bystander. Witnesses rush to stop the driver from fleeing or causing any more destruction.
Get him out of there! Get him out of there! Don't let him go! Get the keys! Get the keys! Get the keys! Open the door! Don't get him out! Just get the keys! Hold on! Break him off if you have to. Yeah, don't let him go nowhere. You hold on to him, man. Just let him say for the police. Kill homeboy, man. You ran over. He going to jail, man. That's attempted murder. He tried to kill homeboy. And you see those tie treads? I got it on video. Oh, what's on? You got everything? I got everything, man. I don't believe this. Baby got that. No, he ain't got to worry about it. He cool now. Leave him alone. He can't go no.
Paramedics arrive and tend to the victim. Miraculously, he's still conscious and suffers only minor injuries.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's what's up. That's it. That motherfucker killer that. So he on something, man. He got to be on something.
Witnesses are convinced the suspect's under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
He got to be on some heavy.
Police officers arrive, and the driver turns belligerent.
That's a big motherfucker. Big motherfucker. That ain't no little motherfucker.
Paramedics check out the suspect and decide to take him to the hospital. The suspect's booked for driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs and held on $100,000 bail. With this tape serving as an eyewitness account to a brutal assault by car. Officers in Opelika, Alabama, try to stop this SUV for a lights violation. Now they suspect it's stolen and that the occupants might have been involved in an armed robbery. The passenger acts very suspiciously. Officers discover later that the passenger reaches for a bag of stolen jewelry and a handgun.
So we're southbound passing 390, about 80 miles an hour.
They're trying to set it straight.
That might be the only way to bring this to an end. The suspect drives very fast.
Speed's about 95.
And the SUV starts to have problems.
I see a spark coming from, I believe, the right front tire.
They're trying to set it straight.
Come on, we
He did get spiked.
Going down east, coming to a stop. Continuing northbound, lost a couple of tires.
It's the bag of stolen jewelry and the handgun that's just been thrown over the guardrail.
SO made note of that guardrail, where he saw stuff out near the guardrail, and he's losing tires.
The spike strip's done its job on this SUV. Smoke and debris pour from the slowing vehicle.
Speeds reduced to about 40.
The truck's totally enveloped by billowing smoke, but keeps going. The officer's determined to stop this now. Finally, they force the vehicle to the side of the road and pull the female passenger from the car. And find the jewelry bag and gun back down the road behind the guardrail. Now the couple face charges including receiving stolen property and bringing it across state lines. Greensboro, North Carolina. A deputy spots a driver who he thinks is a one-man wrecking crew. The driver is suspected of earlier ramming several unoccupied sheriff's vehicles and an SUV. The man circles the area, then pulls into the back of the sheriff's department. Then right in front of the deputy, he takes aim at a squad car.
We just struck another patrol car back into the Food Line parking lot.
Without backup, the deputy can only watch as the driver hits the cruiser again. And again. And again. With smoke pouring from his engine, the driver takes off.
Going behind the Food Line.
The deputy continues to pursue the pickup while he waits for assistance.
24, can you advise how close this car is? 430.
Finally, another unit arrives and the driver is trapped.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
The man is yanked from his truck and thrown to the pavement. As for why he did it, the driver claims he was following orders from a higher power.
The Lord told me to come over here and take care of business.
The man is initially booked for destruction of property. Charges are later dropped, and he's admitted to a mental institution.
What are you doing? Huh?
Los Angeles, California. Officers in this pursuit know two things about the driver of that beat-up van. First, he's wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. Second, the driver uses hand controls to operate the pedals since he's partially paralyzed from a previous accident. The driver leads LAPD units through red lights and gas stations. Then, to make matters worse, he drives on the wrong side of the road. He weaves through traffic and almost hits other cars. Pursuit suspects often circle around neighborhoods they know. And that's exactly what this driver appears to be doing. Then he ignores one red light too many. The driver slams into a bus, which then hits two other vehicles. Next, the van shears off a fire hydrant and sets off a huge water spout. As spectators run in fear, finally, the van comes to a stop. Moments later, the paraplegic man rolls out of the van and uses his upper body to drag himself across the pavement. The driver is charged with driving under the influence as well as assault. He also leaves behind a trail of destruction. 8 injured bus riders, 4 damaged vehicles, including his own, and 1 watery mess. A North Carolina officer stops this driver when he runs a stop sign.
Can I see your driver license registration?
I'm calling for the registration for the name of my car.
Huh?
The man in this car is nervous, very nervous.
Call for the registration for the name of my car. My girl called to call.
Do you have any kind of ID?
Then the officer spots illegal drugs by the driver's foot.
Put your hands on the car. Put your hands on the car. Put your hands on the car. All right. Put your hands out.
The suspect won't release the drugs from his grip.
I see it. Put your hands out.
When he goes for the arrest, the situation quickly goes south.
All right. Get it, drop it. All right. Drop it. Drop it.
As the driver struggles, cash flies onto the street.
Oh, my money. Yeah.
Police usually don't want the public to get involved, but this veteran officer has no choice.
I need help. Put your hands down.
A good Samaritan sees there's a cop in trouble and comes to the rescue.
Put your hand behind your back. You got it?
Moments later, yet another private citizen moves in to help.
I'm not gonna move.
Finally, a backup unit arrives, and in short order, the drama comes to an end. Officers find 87 grams of cocaine and almost $5,000 in and around the car. And what about the private citizens who risked their lives to help?
I appreciate y'all helping me. I'm gonna get your names tonight.
They later receive a well-deserved commendation from the police department. A rainy night in Lancaster, Ohio. Police Sergeant Tom Dean switches on his dashboard camera when he spots a driver veering across lanes in front of him. He no sooner activates his lights and siren when the driver slams hard into the rear of a tractor trailer. It's the kind of accident that could easily result in a fatality. But the driver manages to limp to the shoulder with smoke pouring from his car.
As he pulled over, hit him, I kept on. I think it's going to pull over. Got it all on tape.
You guys okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're okay. Okay.
The truckers are fine, but this driver's in trouble.
I want to put you through a couple coordination tests.
Will I stand out here and smoke a cigarette?
Here in just for a minute.
Please.
Right over here.
Please.
Yeah, in a minute.
He fails 2 sobriety tests.
Here, let me demonstrate on what I want you to do, okay? Put your right foot in front of your left, just like this.
And when it comes to the third,
You don't want to do it? You're under arrest for drunk driving, okay? You've been arrested for DUI before? How many times over than that?
this is his 3rd DUI. But that's not all. This is the 2nd time he has crashed right in front of a state trooper, drunk in the last 10 months. And that cost him a whole year in jail.
They see license plate, sir.
It's an early morning traffic stop on Interstate 20 in Atlanta, Georgia. The driver is breathalyzed.
Blow.
And Trooper Hank Fielding wants this man to stay safely behind this car.
Wait right there just a minute.
That's great advice that might just save his life.
How you doing?
But the driver seems determined to wander into traffic lanes.
Sir, I ask you to wait right here, okay? Okay.
Just as Officer Fielding starts to open the door to talk to the passenger, he's slammed by a hit-and-run driver.
You okay? You okay?
Driver quickly goes from suspect to Good Samaritan.
Go get on the radio and call for help.
On the radio?
Yeah.
Officer Fielding believes this violent impact has broken both his legs.
833 Atlanta Herald.
Although he's hit by a full-sized Oldsmobile, he suffers only deep bruises. Police continue their search for the hit-and-run driver, but have no luck.
Go get on the radio and call for help.
As for the man Officer Fielding stopped,
On the radio? Yeah.
the officer thanked him for his help and didn't ticket him.
You okay?
In Richardson, Texas, police are on the hunt for 3 men in a red SUV suspected of robbing a bank. They are considered to be armed and dangerous.
What is the information on the Blazer? It looks like a Suburban.
Officer Bill Brown locates what he believes to be the vehicle, so he starts to pursue it.
This will be a red Blazer, correct? That's the information I have.
But as he follows it off the freeway, he receives a radio call informing him that the SUV he's tailing is the wrong one and that the real suspects are right below him.
He stopped on the entrance ramp to Central.
Officer Brown spots the other SUV and immediately positions his cruiser to block them in.
He's backing up.
But as soon as he does, he gets the shock of his life.
Gosh damn!
2 men with semi-automatic rifles pumped several rounds into his car.
Not that much in your career. I have never been shot at. I'm ducked down. Rounds were impacting my vehicle. I could feel the vehicle rock with each impact. The only injuries that really I received was from the glass fragments on the windshield that went into my arm.
With all the shots fired, I wasn't sure if Officer Brown was okay or not, so I stopped to make sure that Officer Brown was okay.
Go, go! Get that son of that!
Officer Brian Melly and several other units continue the chase.
They were shooting at Officer Moore as he was trying to pursue them. We just backed up a little bit, just kind of let them get a little lead, make them feel a little more comfortable.
But the lead turns into a loss for police as the suspects are able to shake them all together.
They went past Avenue N. I got a lot of people pointing this direction.
Thanks to the help from some Good Samaritans, Officer Robert Skinner locates the red Suburban a few miles away, but the culprits are gone.
As I'm looking at that, I see this white truck backing up at a high rate of speed. That's them.
The suspects now carjack a white pickup truck and once again try to elude police at all costs. Traveling at a speed of more than 60 miles per hour, they come upon a busy intersection and T-bone an oncoming car. The brutal crash leaves one motorist injured, but the suspects remarkably rise from the wreckage.
Just as I open the door and get out and start to go back, the driver gets out and just starts shooting at me.
Multiple shots fired.
Officer Melly arrives on the scene to help and is immediately fired upon.
Shot my car up also, 725. We need help.
They shot in a direction that was directly where I was, but it went through my radiator and into my engine.
After unloading on police, the suspects head toward a busy industrial park filled with onlookers.
I could not cross that street, not knowing where they were, knowing that they're in this parking lot across the way, and I've got 6 lanes of intersection here with no cover.
You guys be careful, man. That is automatic weapon fire.
Police set up a perimeter, but the brazen bandits carjack another vehicle and somehow slip through their fingers. Though these thugs got away, all 3 of them were eventually captured after a month-long manhunt. Today, they are serving 40-year sentences for their crimes, and the officers involved that day couldn't be happier.
Myself, the other officers involved, everybody went home that day. The suspects were taken in custody, At a later time, there were no citizens that were injured, which is our primary goal. Looking at it in that light, it was a good day.
It's 4 in the morning on LA's busy 405 freeway. A van's abandoned in the carpool lane, and the only thing warning speeding motorists is its flashing hazard lights. The driver's just left his vehicle on the road. Now it completely blocks a high-speed freeway lane as a cameraman records the scene. A blue Mustang slams into the empty van, hurling it into the next lane and into another car. Debris covers the freeway. The cameraman keeps rolling as he makes a desperate phone call.
I need you to tell any LAPD officers that are there.
He focuses on the Mustang and sees the couple moving. Again, he calls 911.
Multiple injuries. I need CHP ASAP. These 2 people are sitting in their Mustang. They're going to get killed.
As cars hit the debris, the cameraman turns on his powerful light to illuminate the crash scene and warn drivers about the imminent danger. The good news is the couple in the wrecked Mustang don't appear to be seriously hurt, but more trouble barrels down the freeway. The driver of the red Mustang gets out. Now he adds to the danger as he stands on the freeway. To slow traffic, the cameraman swings his light back and forth across the lanes. A lucky motorcyclist makes it through.
Southbound 405, north of Victory, 1, 2, 4, and 5 lanes, 4 vehicles involved, at least 2 injuries.
He shouts words of encouragement to the trapped couple.
Paramedics are coming! Hey guys! Hey, paramedics are coming, okay?
With wrecked vehicles, broken glass, and twisted metal across all lanes, this is not over yet. It's another massive impact, followed by another.
Another 5 vehicles involved.
The occupants of the blue Mustang have survived 2 horrendous impacts. Most traffic slows, but some still speed into the devastation. Firemen and paramedics swarm the scene and work to free the couple in the Mustang. Inside the Mustang, a fireman comforts the injured driver. Traffic finally stops as reinforcements arrive. 9 vehicles are involved in this chain reaction incident. But despite the carnage, only 3 people are taken to the hospital, and none of them have critical injuries.
One vehicle driving over the yellow line on the one side of the vehicle.
An officer pulls over a suspected drunk driver in San Antonio, Texas.
Moving to the turn lane.
The driver stops in the parking lot of a local bar, and 2 women emerge from the vehicle. In the beginning, it's standard procedure. The officer confirms the driver has been drinking.
Okay, so that has been drinking, but just one.
We left the house, and after we had a beer, we left from my house. That's it.
The woman is put through a battery of tests, starting with the eye check.
Do you wear contacts or glasses?
No, I don't.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to keep your nose pointed right here at my chin. Can you see this okay?
Yes, I do.
What color is it?
Red.
Okay, I want you to follow this with your eyes. Okay?
Next, it's time for the one-leg stand.
2001.
Okay, so down at your foot, because you've got your leg bent again.
2002, 2003, 2004,
Okay. We're going to start this one more time. Put your foot down. You're going to hold the foot directly out in front of us. We're not going to bend the knee.
Oh, okay, not bending the knee.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the driver is asked to do the heel-to-toe test.
No heel to toe on 2, no heel to toe on 3, just no heel to toe on 4.
The officer gives her one last chance with a field breath test. If she registers over the limit, she'll be placed under arrest for driving while intoxicated.
Take a deep breath and blow.
Now watch the left side of the picture.
Back up, brother. Back up.
Oh my God.
Back up.
Wait.
Back up.
Stop what you're doing.
Somebody better come get this guy before I put him down.
A man approaches the officer from behind and attacks him with a beer bottle. The officer manages to keep his attacker at bay as he calls for backup.
Stop what you're doing.
2745, I'm out at Harding, South Florida. I need help now.
As the officer wisely waits for help, his assailant stumbles across the parking lot towards the bar.
I'm 10-4. Had a subject jumping from the rear, tried to hit me in the head with a beer bottle. He took off in this bar. As soon as I get back up over here, we'll go ahead and get him.
He's in the restroom. They're calling 911 right now.
Yeah, I've already called.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Once backup arrives, the man is quickly caught inside the bar where he tried to switch shirts. The dashboard camera picks up audio as the suspect is placed in a squad car.
Stand up.
I am not.
Stand up.
Despite the interruption, the woman is charged with driving under the influence. And the officer, he's back on the job the next day. The men in this getaway van are very dangerous. They allegedly robbed a nearby bank, and now they hit almost 100 miles an hour as Ohio troopers pursue them. They sideswipe one SUV. The officers record everything on their dash cams as the lawbreakers seem to deliberately hit another vehicle. The folks they force off the road are okay, but the two accidents take their toll on the battered van. Cops need all the help they can get, and fate plays right into their hands. The van flies up behind a big truck as the road narrows. The van slams into the back of the truck, skids out of control, hits the truck again, and then runs into the embankment and almost overturns. The second camera shows just what happens after the big hit. The two men scramble out of the wreckage and up the hill, with the cops right after them.
Give me this hand. Give me this hand. You got any weapons on you? No weapons? You're about dumbass, you know that? I know nothing. No robbery in Jackson County. I sold a vehicle. We got your ass.
One guy's caught, and moments later they bring his partner in crime down too. It's a short, very violent chase. But now these felons face 25 years in prison for armed robbery.
License plate. Thank you, ma'am.
Deputy Dick Maynard stops a speeding suspect in Greensboro, North Carolina.
The reason I stopped is I've been behind you since Racine Road. I've clocked you 4 different times during that time. You in a 45 zone, also a 55 zone.
The traffic stop takes place just past a busy intersection. It catches the attention of a driver speeding in the other direction. The car slams into another vehicle.
.571 signal 1, 1050 just occurred. It's not involving my vehicle. Be 2 vehicles. Be serious PI. EMS and fire 1039.
This has gone from a simple citation to a serious accident. The speeding suspect tells Deputy Maynard she's a nurse.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Exit ramp at 421 to Highway 62.
10-4, if you have one of our units close by, if you have 1025, it's right in the middle of the intersection, traffic's picking up. Also for 1043, I have a registered nurse and a doctor that's pulled up.
10-4.
The medical team gives immediate first aid to the victims. It's lucky for them, the lady in a hurry happens to be a professional lifesaver. Los Angeles, California. The LAPD helicopter unit spots a stolen car in downtown traffic. The driver weaves between commuters on their way from work and makes the dangerous decision to ignore red lights. The situation takes a turn for the worse as the driver heads toward oncoming traffic. A few blocks later, he misses a car by mere inches. For some reason, the driver turns off his headlights. As he continues to narrowly miss car after car. Finally, the driver pushes his luck too far and slams into a tree. The passenger bails and bolts for a nearby alley. It'll be his last taste of freedom for a long time. Meanwhile, the driver didn't even get out of the front seat and is taken into custody. An out-of-control suspect is on a tirade that tries the patience of even the calmest of cops.
Why did you do that to me? Why?
Arlington, Ohio police placed the woman in a squad car after she was arrested for assault in a nearby town.
I don't care.
The situation quickly turns ugly when her screams turn into racial slurs.
Damn. Bitch, boy, punk.
Officers have good reason to suspect that her anger is fueled by alcohol or drugs.
Please, know what he did to me, because I'm a white girl. He didn't do anything. Whatever.
But the plan is simply to hold her until officers from the nearby town arrive. Officers just outside the car keep their professionalism despite the non-stop verbal assault.
You white boy bitch. Get out of here.
The dash cam from another unit shows the woman as she becomes more and more aggressive. It isn't long before she breaks off a radar unit from inside the squad car and attacks the back window. As an officer approaches, the woman breaks the back window.
Come here. Come here, you little.
The officer moves in and sprays the woman with mace. The potent skin irritant does its job, and moments later, the woman is dragged from the squad car.
I got you, bitch. You mother.
She's placed on the ground where she can't hurt anybody or anything.
No.
In addition to the original assault charge, she faces felony vandalism for the damage to the police car.
Come here.
Officers later say that she told them she had snorted morphine and doesn't remember what she did after that. She also apologized for the racial slurs.
Clearly it's some kind of a Lincoln Continental vehicle. It's now in reverse, sitting in the roadway, and there's 2 people that are down now.
Police officers train for almost any scenario, but how do you prepare for this? Officers have been called at a Michigan gas station where an elderly man put his car in reverse instead of park. He was thrown from the car, and now his Lincoln is circling out of control. Concern number 1 is the possibility of an explosion.
Are we going to stop it before it takes out a gas pump?
The officer knows he has no choice but to take action now.
careful, Brian.
He's got to turn off that engine, which will be no easy task. He decides it's safer to enter from the passenger side.
Shut down this way! Shut down this way!
Finally, the officer stops the car.
Me and my partners in here all got the car stopped.
This time, everyone ends up okay. But in the future, driver promised to let his wife do the driving. This suspect tells the clerk in a Columbus, Ohio convenience store that he's got a gun in his pocket. The clerk fears for her life as she hands over the cash. But the robber's the one who should worry. That's a .38 revolver in her hand. She shoots and the perpetrator dives to the ground. The second shot hits him in the shoulder and he writhes in pain. The clerk orders him to stay down while she calls the cops. Although this woman says she's never fired a gun before, she keeps her cool. And her weapon stays trained on the man until the police arrive. The suspect is treated for his shoulder wound and charged with armed robbery. Indiana deputies are in hot pursuit of a stolen rental truck. One officer lays down a spike strip to slow the truck down, but the driver sees the strip and swerves to avoid it.
Just took out 6 vehicle. He's going across the median. Stand by one.
The deputy runs for his life when he sees the truck coming. The truck slams into the squad car, then crosses the median before it finally stops. It turns out the driver was just released from jail, and police say he stole the truck. Thanks to his quick reaction, the deputy escapes uninjured. As for the suspect, he's charged with felony pursuit and vehicle theft. This car throws out smoke and sparks after a spike strip blows out 3 tires. But after he rams a cop car and leads police on a chase from New Mexico to Colorado, this villain won't stop. He runs stop signs and, with his tires completely gone, sends up showers of sparks. Now he heads down a dirt road. With so much smoke, dirt, and dust, the cop loses sight of the car. Then he finds himself right on his bumper. Just when you think this might be over, he's away again. But he doesn't get far. New Mexico State Police Officer Eric Jones is in hot pursuit and brings this bad guy down. A backup officer checks the car and then helps Jones lead the handcuffed man to his date with justice. This perpetrator should be grateful his car didn't turn into a rolling fireball. This officer believes the suspect just kicked in the door of a relative's house. The drama unfolds in DeSoto Parish, Louisiana, as the man refuses to obey the officer.
Down! On the ground! On the ground now!
Although his hands are on the hood, the officer fears the suspect may attack him if he approaches.
Sir! On the ground now! I'll spray you here or I will use my baton. Which one do you want?
It's fair warning, but a face full of mace seems to make no difference.
On the ground! Sir, next option is impact weapon. On the ground now! Because I said, on the ground!
That impact weapon could be his baton or his flashlight. Suddenly, the officer sees his chance.
I'm not gonna make you get on the ground. Behind back. Right now, hands behind back. Close.
The cuffs are on, but he will not stay down and continues to verbally abuse the officer.
Stand right there. Back up, bitch. All right. Stand right there. Look at me. I see you. All right. You're very unqualified. Pass me some testaments now, please. Sir, will you get on the ground? Sir. I've done nothing wrong. Yeah.
The officer finally gets him in the car, but he still curses and swears his innocence.
Sir, get in the car. I need water. Y'all got water? Great, these for religion. Y'all call the fire department now for chemical weapons? Please, chemical weapons!
The relative refuses to press charges for the damaged door. But because of this incident, the suspect was booked for resisting an officer, speeding, and driving with a suspended license. In Omaha, Nebraska, a police helicopter armed with a FLIR camera is on a routine patrol when it spots some unusual activity going on at this Taco Bell.
Hey, Bowen, be advised, this vehicle just looks like tried to hit another vehicle. Correction, he just intentionally rammed another vehicle and flipped over that vehicle. You might as well start a medic.
As the man in the SUV goes to exit the drive-thru, another SUV enters from the wrong way and blocks his path. Foolishly, he attempts to go around the vehicle by riding up over the curb and onto the embankment. But as he does, his SUV catches the retaining wall edge and flips over. It appears the other vehicle rams his SUV, causing it to flip. But upon a closer look, neither of them ever touch. The female driver of the other SUV decides it's not a good night for takeout after all, so she takes off. But police continue to track her using the FLIR camera.
That vehicle's a green Tahoe. It's going to be playing southbound on about 61st Street.
Eventually, officers on the ground catch up to her and take her into custody for reckless driving. As for the man in the other SUV, he suffers no injuries, but police arrest him for drunk driving. And all in all, it was a tough night for tacos. These office workers get quite a show. Two 18-year-old high school seniors climb to the 20th floor of a building in Richmond Heights, Missouri, as a news chopper records the scene. It's senior skip day at their school. Seniors get the day off, as long as they don't pull pranks like this. The plan was to scale all 23 floors, but the young daredevils run out of equipment. Now they slowly descend. To a welcoming party of police and firefighters. These young adventurers don't smile for long. They plead guilty for trespassing, failure to comply with police, and disorderly conduct. The daredevils are each sentenced to a year's probation, 100 hours of community service, and a $1,000 fine. And they are suspended from school for breaking the no prank rule. Burlington, North Carolina. Police are in pursuit of one of their own squad cars. The driver is a naked woman who stole the car from an officer who saw her talking incoherently on the street. When the officer went to get her a blanket out of the trunk, she jumped in and drove off. It's soon obvious that this is more than just a lark. She comes to a stop, then slams into another squad car. Finally, She leads officers down a side road and into this industrial complex.
Okay, can't run.
She ditches the car and disappears into the night. But the undressed driver is easy to spot, and officers quickly catch their suspect. She's taken off the streets, given some clothes, and taken away to a warm jail cell.
Sunday.